Hello bass family and welcome to Everything Bass. Today we're going to continue on with the series Things to Do with Scales Unit 2. If you remember from Unit 1, if you've seen it, sometimes when I teach a scale, students would come back, my private students come back and they would play it up and down, and I'll ask them to improvise with it, or they'll say, wow, it was kind of boring, and I'm thinking, okay, well, they just don't know what to do with a scale. And so I'm going to do this limited series which will give you a bunch of different things you can do with scales in practice that hopefully will make the practice more valuable to you, get you some new musical ideas, and you won't be so stuck just going from root to octave, octave to root. Now that's fine, but that's not an ending spot. That's just the beginning of the journey. Because if you remember, we're going to perform as we practice. If we only practice one way, we're probably going to be kind of have a tendency to perform that way. And so I want to give you a bunch of different things you can do with scales that are very musical and that you can dissect and put into your bass playing. So today we're doing runs of 3. Last unit we did runs of 4, and now we're doing runs of 3. And one of the reasons why we do that is music rhythmically can be broken into 2s and 3s. And being runs of 4 is a component of has 2s in it, that works out. Now we need something for 3s because there's a lot of opportunities we'll want to play patterns that are runs of 3. So how do we do it? Well, we're going to use the F major scale for this one. And this also includes some open notes in it, so I want you to get used to that. But the F major scale would be F, G, A, the open A, B flat, C on the 3rd fret, D, open D, E, and then F. If this is new to you, go ahead and pause the tape. Just hit pause. Practice that, just so you're not guessing and you know exactly the fingering you want to use. Now, just once again, with frets, I will tell you. 1st fret, 3rd fret. On the A string, open 1st, 3rd. On the D string, open 2nd, 3rd. So that's another way to practice it. So pause the video if you need to, and then come back and we'll go through the patterns with runs of 3. Now, assuming you do have the scale under your belt now, let's work it out. So we're going to go runs of 3, which means off of every note of the scale, we're going to play 3 notes, consecutive neighboring notes. So this is how that'll sound. We're going to start by playing off the root. We're going to go 1. All right, so we go 1, 2, 3. Then we go starting on the G, which is the 2nd note of the F major scale. Open A, the B flat 1st fret, starting on the C, open D. Now just for now, we can stop there, but if you have a good 2-octave fingering for the scale, go ahead and just keep going and come back down. And that's what we're going to do, but within the octave, we're going to come back down. Runs of 3 are great. You can play them as triplets, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and get a very cool sound. You can just take a segment, just play two of the segments into bass line, and then go on with your bass line. But right now, just runs of 3. And obviously, if you know a lot of scales, just do it with every scale you know. It works with every scale you know, even some of the exotic scales that have less than or more than 7 notes in the scale. So runs of 3, very simple to plug into your practice time, and really gets your dexterity down, your musicality down. You'll start hearing it. And this is the best part. If you play, and I really want you to practice these with your amp on or headphones on, where you can hear what you're playing. And then as you're listening to music just recreationally, you're going to start hearing like a guitarist play a run of 3 lick, or a bass player include portions of a run of 3. And now you've just improved your ear training. You have more accessibility. It's going to be easier for you to maybe play cover songs and things like that. Definitely, I love this. There's going to be more coming. This is going to be, I say it's a mini series. There'll be, I don't know, probably hopefully around 20 of these. But each one should give you more things you can practice with scales, so that when you come to use them on stage or in the studio, you'll have more facility, more comfort in navigating the scale in multiple ways. Excellent. So I'm excited to say that today we have our first 60 cycle hum. Now, if you didn't see that video where I promoted 2 new aspects of the way which we can communicate, 60 Cycle Hum is you can email me at dtitus@daletitus.com, and in the subject matter put 60 Cycle Hum, and then give me a question. You can make a comment about just how you see music. You can share ideas, like you can say, hey man, I was on a gig and something happened and I figured out a way around it. Those are valuable. We all learn from those. Just keep them positive. Don't bag on anybody. Now with that said, my first 60 Cycle Hum is the perfect way to start this. How can I say this? I'm serious about bass playing, but I don't take myself seriously. That's why if you look at the video thumbnails, if ever I can, I choose the goofiest looking thumbnail, because I just think it's hilarious. It's a little inside joke, and I love the comments when people make about them, because they are funny, and it's intended to be that way. Well, the first 60 Cycle Hum asked, are your eyebrows crooked or is it just your glasses? I'm sorry, I love that so much. The answer is both and more. At Durham High School, where I went to school, I was in the boxing program, Block D boxing. Go Trojans. And got my nose broken multiple times. And then as I was trying to figure out life as a young rapscallion, I would get into fist fights here or there, and I've had my nose broken a couple times. And so glasses sit funny on my nose, and it's just such a challenge for the optometrist to help me out. But I can't blame that all. And yeah, I do have funny eyebrows. And boy, right before a haircut, they get bushy. So that is a weirdness. But between Christmas and New Year's, I was on vacation, and I smushed these glasses so hard. The lenses didn't break, but they were pancaked. The metalwork in the frame was pancaked. And I don't want to spend money on glasses. I know I should, but I don't want to. So I sat there heating them up in front of a fireplace that at the place we were staying, and slowly bending them, putting them on. And man, at one point, yeah, they were just a disaster. So I'm trying, but I promise you guys, I will most likely break down and get some new glasses shortly. I don't want anything to distract from the lesson. And honestly, I'm just trying to throw as much money as I can into everything bass to grow it, because it's just a passion of mine, and it's something that already is achieving what I wanted, which is communication with my family, my bass family, and I'm excited about it. So now I should give you the whole story about this first 60 Cycle Hum. It was sent to me by young Scott Corey. I say young facetiously because he was one of the first drummers. Actually, the first drummer the drummer in my very first professional band. I was in a band that played top 40 music in the 80s, and we played quite a bit, and actually won some recognition. It was a great band, Scott Corey. So Scott and I bust on each other quite a bit, and so I just love the fact that the first 60 Cycle Hum was him kind of, poking the bear, which I love. I think that's great. Scott, I love you, buddy. But let's not make that the last 60 Cycle Hum. Please email me any comments, questions, anything you want to share with your family, and let's figure it out. Let's again, get this conversation going. I'm very excited about it. So things to do with scales: runs of 3. Don't do it just in F major. Please move it. If you're just going to stick with major, move it to all other roots. Figure out how to play the pattern. And then, of course, I'm going to get my glasses fixed. So there you have it, guys. I love you so much. And please, if you enjoyed this video, you enjoyed the channel, hit the subscribe below, hit the bell icon, and I'll let you know every time that I upload a new lesson video or anything, an interview video, anything. And please share it. Share it with other bass players. There's got to be people you know who might want to be part of this collective consciousness, and we can all work together to make each other better and the world a more bassy place, which is something we should all strive for. Thanks, guys.